In the shadowed archives of Azeroth's history, one name echoes with dread: Lord Kazzak, the Burning Legion's Iron Fist. From the shattered ruins of Dalaran to the fel-scorched Throne of Kil'jaeden, this Doomlord carved a path of destruction that shook the world. Join us as we unravel the saga of Kazzak, a demon whose power defied defeat, whose legacy haunts the battlefields of Azeroth and beyond. This is the story of the Legion's relentless harbinger. Welcome to the lore of Lord Kazzak. Third War. Lord Kazzak, Burning Legion's Iron Fist in Azeroth. In the chaotic tapestry of Warcraft's history, few figures embody the raw, destructive power of the Burning Legion like Lord Kazzak, a Doomlord of unparalleled might. A towering demon breathed in felfire, Kazzak was one of the Legion's most fearsome commanders, a being whose presence alone could shatter the resolve of even the bravest heroes. His story intertwines with some of the most pivotal moments of the Third War and its aftermath, cementing his legacy as a harbinger of doom in Azeroth. The Summoning at Dalaran. During the Third War, the necromancer Kel'Thuzad, under the Lich King's command, performed a ritual of cataclysmic significance near the ruins of Dalaran. Using the Book of Medivh, a tome pulsing with arcane power, Kel'Thuzad tore open a portal to the Twisted Nether, summoning two of the Burning Legion's most formidable lords, Archimonde the Defiler and Lord Kazzak. Archimonde, the Legion's dread strategist, was the primary force, a colossus whose arrival heralded the Legion's full-scale invasion of Azeroth. But Kazzak, though less prominent in the grand scheme, was no mere subordinate. As a Doomlord, he commanded respect and fear, wielding fel magic and brute strength to crush any who opposed the Legion's will. Kazzak's arrival marked a turning point in the war. His role was to enforce the Legion's dominance, leading demonic forces in devastating campaigns across the mortal world. His presence near Dalaran, a city already ravaged by the Scourge, underscored the Legion's intent to leave nothing but ash in their wake. Yet the Third War would not end in the Legion's favor. The fall at Mount Hyjal. The Battle of Mount Hyjal stands as one of Azeroth's most defining moments. The combined forces of the Alliance, Horde, and Night Elves, united under desperation, faced the full might of the Burning Legion. Archimonde, overconfident in his power, led the charge to destroy the world tree Nordrassil. Kazzak, as one of his chief lieutenants, fought in the thick of the conflict, his blade reaping countless lives. But the mortal's resolve, bolstered by the wisdom of the dragonflights and the sacrifice of Nordrassil's power, turned the tide. Archimonde fell, his body obliterated in a cataclysmic explosion, and the Legion's invasion crumbled. For Kazzak, this defeat was a bitter blow. With Archimonde gone and the Legion's forces scattered, he was forced to retreat. Unlike many demons who were banished back to the Twisted Nether, Kazzak remained on Azeroth, trapped in a world now hostile to his kind. The twist of fate would shape his next moves and cement his role as the Legion's last bastion of power on the mortal plane. Ruler of the Blasted Lands. Kazzak withdrew to the Blasted Lands, a desolate region scarred by the dark energies of the Dark Portal, the very gateway through which the Orcs, and later the Legion, had first arrived and invaded Azeroth. The Blasted Lands were a fitting refuge for a demon of Kazzak's caliber, a wasteland of ash and ruin, pulsing with the residual fel magic. Here, he established his stronghold, becoming the de facto ruler of the Burning Legion's remnants in Azeroth. No other demon trapped on the planet could match his power or authority. Kazzak was not merely surviving, he was plotting, biding his time to restore the Legion's dominance. To secure his grip on the Blasted Lands, Kazzak entrusted his most fearsome lieutenant, Razalik the Defiler, with a critical task. Razalik, a cunning and malevolent dreadlord, was dispatched to corrupt and dominate the region's inhabitants. Under Kazzak's orders, Razalik spread his influence, twisting the minds of local ogres, orcs, and other creatures, creating a network of enthralled minions to serve the Legion's cause. The Dark Portal itself, though dormant, remained a focal point of Kazzak's attention, a symbol of the Legion's unyielding ambition to return. Kazzak's power and legacy. Lord Kazzak's strength was not just his physical might, though his towering form and mastery of fel magic made him a terror on the battlefield. His true danger lay in his strategic mind and unyielding loyalty to the Legion's cause. As the most powerful demon left on Azeroth after the Third War, he was a constant threat, a reminder that the Legion's defeat was not absolute. Kazzak's story did not end in the Blasted Lands, however. In time, he would find a way to reopen the Dark Portal, returning to the shattered world of Outland as Kazzak the Supreme. There, in Hellfire Peninsula, he continued his campaign of destruction, rallying demonic forces and challenging any who dared oppose him. His eventual fate, whether at the hands of Azeroth's heroes or through other means, only added to his legend as a relentless force of chaos. World of Warcraft. Lord Kazzak and the Tainted Scar, a menace in 25 years after the Dark Portal. By 25 ADP, roughly 5 years after the cataclysmic events of the Third War, Lord Kazzak had cemented his dominion over the Blasted Lands, a desolate region scarred by fell energies of the Dark Portal. Within this forsaken landscape, Kazzak made his lair in the Tainted Scar, a particularly corrupted pocket of the Blasted Lands where the ground itself seemed to writhe with demonic power. From this stronghold, the Doomlord unleashed terror upon adventurers of both the Horde and the Alliance, becoming a legendary challenge and a symbol of the Burning Legion's lingering threat on Azeroth. The Tainted Scar, a demonic bastion. The Tainted Scar was no ordinary wasteland. Located in the southwestern reaches of the Blasted Lands, it was a place where the very earth was saturated with fell corruption, a remnant of the Legion's influence during their invasion. Twisted plants, glowing fissures, and an oppressive aura of dread defined the area, making it a fitting throne for a demon of Kazzak's stature. As the most powerful Legion demon still trapped on Azeroth after the Battle of Mount Hyjal, Kazzak chose this cursed ground to anchor his power, transforming the Tainted Scar into a staging ground for his schemes. Kazzak's presence in the Tainted Scar was not passive. He actively commanded demonic forces including Fellhounds, Infernals, and other minions to patrol the region, ensuring his dominance remained unchallenged. The Scar became a no-man's land where only the boldest, or most foolhardy, ventured. Kazzak's lieutenants, such as Razalik the Defiler, extended his influence beyond the Scar, corrupting local tribes and sowing chaos. But Kazzak himself was the heart of the terror, a towering Doomlord whose very presence could snuff out hope, terrorizing the Horde and Alliance. In 25 ADP, Azeroth was a world still healing from the wounds of the Third War. The Horde, under Thrall's leadership, was carving out a new home in Durotar, while the Alliance, led by figures like Jaina Proudmoore and King Varian Wrynn, sought to rebuild their shattered kingdoms. Both factions, despite their mutual distrust, faced a common enemy in the remnants of the Burning Legion. Lord Kazzak, as the Legion's de facto ruler on Azeroth, was a priority target, but confronting him was no small feat. Adventurers from both the Horde and the Alliance, drawn by tales of Kazzak's power and the promise of glory, ventured into the Tainted Scar to challenge him. These were no ordinary warriors. Kazzak's strength demanded coordinated raids of dozens of heroes, each prepared to face a demon whose abilities could decimate entire groups in a moment. His Shadow Bolt volley rained destruction across the battlefield, while his Mark of Kazzak drained the life from those unfortunate enough to bear it. For the Alliance, Kazzak's presence was a blight on their efforts to secure the Eastern Kingdoms, particularly for the Dwarves of Ironforge and the humans of Stormwind, who saw the Blasted Lands as a front line against further demonic incursions. The battles in the Tainted Scar were brutal and legendary. Adventurers faced not only Kazzak, but also the psychological weight of entering a demon's domain. The Tainted Scar's oppressive atmosphere, combined with Kazzak's relentless aggression, tested the resolve of even the most seasoned heroes. Tales spread of entire raid groups wiped out by a single misstep, their bodies left as a warning to others who dare challenge the Doomlord, a symbol of challenge and triumph. Kazzak's reign in the Tainted Scar in 25 ADP also set the stage for his later arc. By the time of the Burning Crusade, Kazzak would seize the opportunity to reopen the Dark Portal, transforming it into Kazzak the Supreme, and relocating to Hellfire Peninsula in Outland. But in 25 ADP, he was still a terror, a demon lord whose presence in the Tainted Scar was a constant reminder of the Legion's unyielding malice. The Burning Crusade. Lord Kazzak and the reopening of the Dark Portal, the Legion's return in 26 ADP. In 26 ADP, 6 years after the Burning Legion's catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Mount Hyjal, Lord Kazzak, the Doomlord who had become the Legion's de facto ruler on Azeroth, stood at the edge of a monumental achievement. From his stronghold in the Tainted Scar within the Blasted Lands, Kazzak had spent years consolidating power, plotting to restore the Legion's dominance. His opportunity came through a daring collaboration with High Lord Cruel, a formidable Doomguard dispatched by the demon Lord Kil'jaeden, and a large-scale ritual that would reshape the fate of Azeroth and the Outlands. The pivotal moment, centered around the Dark Portal, marked Kazzak's ascension to new heights of power and terror. The ritual to reopen the Dark Portal. The Dark Portal, a massive gateway into Blasted Lands, had been dormant since the Second War. its felt energy sealed but never fully extinguished. For Kazzak, it represented the key to reconnecting with the Burning Legion's vast forces in the Twisted Nether and Outland, the shattered remnants of the orcish homeworld Draenor. In 26 ADP, Kil'jaeden the Deceiver, and one of the Legion's supreme commanders, devised a plan to reopen the portal, ensuring the Legion could resume its invasion of Azeroth. To execute this, he sent High Lord Cruel, a cunning and brutal Doomguard, to Outland, while Kazzak led the operations on Azeroth's side. Under Kil'jaeden's direct guidance, Kazzak and Cruel orchestrated a synchronized large-scale ritual on both sides of the Dark Portal. This was no simple spell. It required immense fel energy, precise coordination, and the sacrifice of countless resources. On Azeroth, Kazzak rallied his demonic minions in the Blasted Lands, channeling fel magic into the portal's framework. The Tainted Scar, already saturated with corruption, became a cauldron of dark power as Kazzak's forces performed profane rites, their chants echoing across the desolate landscape. In Outland, Cruel mirrored these efforts, commanding demonic legions in the shadow of the portal's other side, within the scarred wastes of the Hellfire Peninsula. The ritual was a spectacle of destruction and ambition. Green flames erupted from the dark portal as the barriers between the worlds weakened. The ground trembled, and the air grew thick with the stench of sulfur and fel energy. Adventurers from the Horde and Alliance, ever vigilant, sensed the growing threat and attempted to disrupt the ritual, but Kazzak's ferocity and Cruel's cunning proved overwhelming. When the ritual reached its climax, the dark portal roared to life, its swirling vortex of emerald and shadow reawakening the pathway between Azeroth and Outland. The Burning Legion's gateway was once more open, and Kazzak stood ready to seize the moment. Kazzak's ascendancy in Outland. With the dark portal reopened, Kazzak wasted no time. He crossed the threshold into Outland, his towering form striding through the portal to claim dominion over the Legion's forces on the other side. High Lord Cruel, despite his own fearsome reputation, bowed to Kazzak's authority, recognizing the Doomlord's superior power and status. Kazzak assumed command of Cruel's troops, a formidable army of demons that included Felguards, Infernals, and other monstrosities stationed in Hellfire Peninsula. Now styling himself as Kazzak the Supreme, he embraced his role as the Legion's spearhead in Outland, determined to crush any resistance and secure the region for Kil'jaeden's plans. Hellfire Peninsula, a war-torn wasteland littered with the bones of Draenor's past, became Kazzak's new dominion. The region's spell-scarred terrain, dotted with demonic forges and citadels like Hellfire Citadel, was a perfect staging ground for the Legion's renewed ambitions. Kazzak's arrival sent ripples of fear through the peninsula's inhabitants, from the fledgling outposts of the Horde and the Alliance, to the native Draenei and Orcs struggling to survive in Outland's harsh environment. His presence was a declaration. The Burning Legion was far from defeated, and Kazzak would ensure its will was enforced. High Lord Cruel and the Aspect Shards. While Kazzak established his rule in Outland, High Lord Cruel returned to Azeroth on a mission of critical importance. Under Kazzak's orders, Cruel sought the Aspect Shards, mysterious artifacts tied to the power of Azeroth's dragon flights. These shards, imbued with the essence of the dragon aspects, held immense magical potential, capable of amplifying demonic rituals or weakening the defenses of Azeroth's protectors. The exact nature of the shards remains shrouded in mystery, but their significance to Kazzak was undeniable. They were key to unlocking even greater power, possibly to fuel another invasion or to secure Kazzak's dominance in Outland. Cruel's incursion into Azeroth was swift and brutal. Striking from the shadows, he targeted locations where the shards were rumored to be hidden, clashing with heroes of the Horde and Alliance who sought to thwart him. Despite fierce resistance, Cruel's cunning and raw power allowed him to retrieve the Aspect Shards and deliver them to Kazzak. These artifacts bolstered Kazzak's arsenal, reinforcing his position as a nearly unstoppable force. The Shard's acquisition was a testament to Kazzak's strategic foresight, leveraging Cruel's loyalty to extend his reach across worlds. The Throne of Kil'jaeden, Kazzak's seat of power. With the Dark Portal open and the Aspect Shards in his possession, Kazzak established his stronghold at the Throne of Kil'jaeden, a jagged, fel-infused mountain in Hellfire Peninsula named in honor of his master, Kil'jaeden the Deceiver. The throne was more than a strategic vantage point. It was a symbol of the Legion's unyielding ambition, a place where fel energy pulsed like a heartbeat. From this elevated perch, Kazzak could oversee the peninsula, directing his forces against the newly arrived expeditionary forces of the Horde and Alliance, who had followed through the Dark Portal to secure Outland. The Throne of Kil'jaeden was a fortress of terror, surrounded by swirling fel storms and guarded by Kazzak's elite demonic minions. Here, Kazzak the Supreme reigned as a warlord, his presence a constant challenge to any who dared approach. His combat prowess, honed in the Tainted Scar, had only grown more lethal. His Shadow Bolt volley could devastate entire raid groups, while his Thunderclap and Cleave punished those who drew too close. Most dreaded was his ability to capture souls, empowering himself with the essence of fallen foes, making prolonged battles increasingly perilous. Kazzak's fall and legacy. Kazzak protected the Throne of Kil'jaeden with unrelenting ferocity, but his reign could not last forever. In time, the combined might of Azeroth's heroes overwhelmed him, whether through the relentless assaults of coordinated raid groups or a pivotal moment in the broader war for Outland. Kazzak fell, his body collapsing amidst the fel-scorched rock of his mountain stronghold. His defeat was a significant victory for the Horde and Alliance, weakening the Legion's grip on Hellfire Peninsula and paving the way for further campaigns against threats like Illidan's Stormrage and the Fortress of Hellfire Citadel. Yet, Kazzak's fall did not erase his legacy. As a Doomlord who survived the Third War, reopened the Dark Portal, and held sway over Outland's demonic forces, he embodied the Legion's relentless persistence. Throne of Kil'jaeden remained a haunted place, a reminder of his power and the ever-present threat of the Burning Legion. Warlords of Draenor. In 31 ADP, as the heroes of Azeroth ventured into the savage, alternate timeline of Draenor through a newly forged Dark Portal, they encountered a familiar and terrifying foe, Lord Kazzak, the Doomlord who had once terrorized Azeroth and Outland. Re-emergent from the twisted nether, the demonic realm where slain demons reconstructed their essence, Kazzak returned with renewed vigor, his fel-forged resolve unbroken. In this alternate Draenor, a world untouched by the cataclysm that shattered Outland, he reclaimed his seat at the Throne of Kil'jaeden, a fel-corrupted mountain in the Tainted jungle. From this ominous perch, Kazzak oversaw the Burning Legion scheming, serving as a guardian of Gul'dan's dark ambitions. Yet, as before, his reign would face the unrelenting courage of Azeroth's adventurers, who sought to end his terror once and for all. Re-emergence from the twisted nether. The Burning Legion's demons are not so easily vanquished. When Kazzak fell at the Throne of Kil'jaeden in Outland during the events of the Burning Crusade, around 26 ADP, his essence returned to the twisted nether, the chaotic dimension where demons regenerated. By 31 ADP, the Legion, under the command of Archimon and Kil'jaeden, saw a new opportunity in the alternate Draenor, a world accessed through the Dark Portal manipulated by the Warlock Gul'dan and his Iron Horde allies. Kazzak, ever loyal to the Legion's cause, was summoned back to the physical plane, his power undiminished and his hatred for Azeroth's mortals burning brighter than ever. This alternate Draenor, a pristine yet war-torn reflection of the world before its destruction, was a perfect battleground for the Legion's plans. Unlike the shattered Outland, this Draenor teemed with life and conflict, from the orcish clans of the Iron Horde to the Draenei strongholds resisting their tyranny. Kazzak's return was a calculated move by the Legion to bolster their influence in this timeline, leveraging Gul'dan's treachery to pave the way for a full-scale invasion of Azeroth. The Throne of Kil'jaeden in Tainted Jungle. Kazzak chose a familiar seat of power, Throne of Kil'jaeden, a jagged, fel-infused mountain in the heart of the Tainted Jungle, a region steeped in darkness and demonic corruption. In this alternate Draenor, the throne was a nexus of fel energy, its peaks wreathed in green flames and its slopes crawling with demonic minions. Named for Kil'jaeden the Deceiver, Kazzak's master, the throne was both a strategic stronghold and a symbol of the Legion's unyielding ambition. From its height, Kazzak commanded a panoramic view of Tainted, a jungle transformed into a crucible of war where the Iron Horde, the Shadow Council, and the Legion's forces clashed with the newly arrived forces from Azeroth. The Throne of Kil'jaeden in 31 ADP was a far cry from the barren Hellfire Peninsula of Outland. Tainted jungle pulsed with life, but it was a twisted life, corrupted by Gul'dan's fel magic and the Legion's influence. Demonic forges belched smoke, and fel-tainted creatures roamed the undergrowth. Kazzak, known as Supreme Lord Kazzak in this timeline, ruled this dominion with the Iron Fist, his towering form a constant reminder of the Legion's presence. His very presence warped the environment, the ground beneath him scorched by fel energy, and his roars echoed through the jungle, striking fear into all who heard them. Overseeing Gul'dan's efforts. Kazzak's primary role in 31 ADP was to watch over Gul'dan, the Orc Warlock whose ambition and treachery had opened the door for the Legion's return. In this alternate Draenor, Gul'dan had betrayed his own people, manipulating the Iron Horde and its warlord, Brahmash Hellscream, into serving as pawns for the Legion. After the Iron Horde's initial failures, Gul'dan seized greater control, infusing orcish warriors with fel energy to create monstrous fel orcs and summoning demonic reinforcements to bolster his forces. His ultimate goal was to pave the way for the Burning Legion's invasion of Azeroth, a plan that aligned perfectly with Kil'jaeden's designs. Kazzak, as a high-ranking Doomlord, was tasked with ensuring Gul'dan's efforts succeeded. Stationed at the Throne of Kil'jaeden, he acted as both overseer and enforcer, coordinating demonic forces to support Gul'dan's Shadow Council. The Warlock's rituals, conducted in the depths of the Tainted Jungle and within Hellfire Citadel, required vast amounts of fel energy and demonic oversight. Kazzak provided this, channeling his own power to amplify Gul'dan's spells and protect the Warlock from interference by Horde and Alliance forces establishing footholds in Draenor. Gul'dan's work was perilous and complex, involving the corruption of Tannen's wildlife, the creation of fel-powered war machines, and the summoning of greater demons. Kazzak's role was not to micromanage, but to ensure that Gul'dan's actions aligned with the Legion's broader strategy. His presence at the throne served as a warning to any who might challenge Gul'dan's authority, whether rebellious orcs, Draenei resistance fighters, or Azeroth adventurers. Kazzak's loyalty to Kil'jaeden ensured that he kept a close eye on Gul'dan, whose ambitions often teetered on the edge of defiance. Kazzak's defeat and enduring legacy. Despite his power, Kazzak could not withstand the relentless assault of Azeroth's heroes. In 31 ADP, during the campaign to liberate Draenor from the Iron Horde and the Burning Legion, Supreme Lord Kazzak was defeated at the Throne of Kil'jaeden. His fall was a significant blow to the Legion's plans in Tainted Jungle, weakening their hold on the region and disrupting Gul'dan's operations. Yet, as with all demons, Kazzak's death was not necessarily final. His essence returned to the Twisted Nether, where he could potentially regenerate for further conflicts. Kazzak's defeat in 31 ADP marked another chapter in his long history of defiance and destruction. From his summoning near Dalaran in the Third War, to his reign in the Tainted Scar, to his command in Outland, and now his return in alternate Draenor, Kazzak embodied the Burning Legion's unyielding persistence. His defeat in the Tainted Jungle was a triumphant moment, a testament to the growth of heroes in the world constantly threatened by demonic forces. From the ashes of Dalaran to the fel-tainted jungles of Draenor, Lord Kazzak's reign of terror tested the courage of Azeroth's heroes. Though he fell time and again, his essence lingers in the Twisted Nether, a reminder that the Burning Legion's shadow never truly fades. What did you think of Kazzak's saga? Drop a comment below and let us know your favorite moment, or if you've battled this Doomlord yourself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more epic World of Warcraft lore. Until next time, may your blade stay sharp and your resolve unbroken.